Moon Letter, Astrological Podcast.
Scorpio by Ben Belinsky. 1. The constellation Scorpius is known by astrologers as Scorpio, the 8th sign of the zodiac. This sign is named after the scorpion, a member of the arachnid family, cousins of spiders, mites, and ticks. Scorpions are predatory creatures, equipped with a pair of sharp claws and a poisonous sting. They live in many countries, most notably in deserts, and come out only at night. Here we look at various aspects of the scorpion, the animal, to gather insights into the mysterious character of Scorpio, the most secretive and misunderstood of all the astrological signs. 2. Scorpions are nocturnal and hide from the heat of the sun during the day. Of all the animal signs in the zodiac, Scorpions are the only ones that are not only nocturnal, but also avoid the heat of the midday sun. Scorpions are very sensitive to strong light and prefer the darkness. This accords with the tendency of those born under the sign of Scorpio to keep hidden and to operate in secret. Despite their fearsome appearance with their claws and their venomous sting, Scorpions are in fact very vulnerable and will only attack humans if surprised or provoked. 3. Scorpions glow in moonlight. Scorpions have a substance in a thin layer in their skin, known as the hyaline layer. This chemical reacts to ultraviolet light, such as black light or the light of the full moon, absorbing the damaging UV light and transforming it into visible light that appears to our eyes as a bright neon green color. Scientists have been trying to find out the point of this fluorescence. Why did it evolve? How does it help the scorpion to survive? To attract prey? To scare off predators? Science really has no idea. One theory suggests that as well as having 6 to 12 eyes, scorpions have light sensors in their tails, which alert them to the time of the full moon, when they are more visible and more at risk. This chimes with the astrological picture of the moon in Scorpio, where folk born with this placement are tough, secretive, focused on survival, and have the ability to transform energy. 4. Scorpio's power to regenerate. Scorpio's secret power is its ability to regenerate. In fact, the scorpion, the actual animal, is given to shedding its exoskeleton in order to grow. The whole process takes about 24 hours, and then another week for the new exoskeleton to harden. During this process, the scorpion is extremely vulnerable and will go into hiding. This suggests that Scorpios should be left alone to get on with it when they are going through such a transformation. If you're a Scorpio, best get out of the way of your process and let it happen. 5. The Scorpion and the Frog. Here's a fable that illustrates the character of the scorpion. A scorpion wants to cross a river but cannot swim, so it asks a frog to carry it across. The frog hesitates, afraid that the scorpion might sting it, but the scorpion promises not to, pointing out that it too would drown if it killed the frog in the middle of the river. The frog considers this argument and agrees to carry the scorpion across. Halfway across the river, the scorpion stings the frog anyway, dooming them both. The dying frog asks the scorpion why it stung, despite knowing the consequence, to which the scorpion replies, I'm sorry, but I couldn't help myself. I'm a scorpion. It's in my nature to sting. There are different interpretations to this little story. We could also say that the frog was naive and stupid to trust something as dangerous as a scorpion. We could also say that even though it invited death, the Scorpio could not go against its nature. That while it is the dog's nature to bark, while it is the wolf's nature to hunt and kill, while it is the crab's nature to move with the tides, we are human. We have intelligence, which means that we can override our baser nature. We could even say that the scorpion's actions imply an acceptance of death. 6. How to keep scorpions away when you're camping. A friend of mine who did his military service in the Sahara Desert makes this suggestion. If you're sleeping out under the sky on a desert night, or in any area known to be inhabited by scorpions, the easiest way to keep scorpions away is to draw a circle in the sand around where you are sleeping. Scorpions will not cross the line you have drawn. This also works with ants and other creepy crawlies. While scientists claim that the line disrupts the pheromones that these creatures use to navigate, in symbolic reality, the line represents a taboo that must not be broken. Say I draw a line and tell you that if you cross it you will die, or God will punish you. If you believe me, you will not cross the line. But if you decide to take the risk and cross the line anyway, and you neither die nor suffer any divine retribution, you have broken the taboo and survived. Not only that, you have demonstrated that my power is illusory. Breaking a taboo means taking back the power that someone claims to have over you. Scorpios are interested in who has the power in a situation, and are most ready to take the risk, to test the taboos, and break them if necessary. Campers are also reminded to check their boots and to shake them out before putting them on in the morning, to make sure that there are no scorpions there. Scorpions and Scorpios do not like surprises, and nor will you if you disturb one. In general, Scorpios and Scorpions are not out to get you, and will only attack if surprised or provoked. 7. Scorpios are highly resistant to ionizing radiation. In 1962, 53 arthropod species were studied in an area affected by an underground nuclear detonation in Nevada. These were represented by 10 species of ants, 17 beetles, 5 orthopterans, 4 scorpions, 6 solpugids, and 11 spiders. Relative populations were determined prior to the detonation and at 3 points thereafter: 1 and 2 months after, 11 months after, and 13 months after. The greatest reduction of specimens occurred with the spiders, followed by ants and beetles. Fewest changes occurred in the number of scorpions. Astrologically, Scorpio is under the rulership of Pluto, the planet associated with the radioactive element plutonium and nuclear power. This does not mean that people born under the sign of Scorpio are physically resistant to actual radiation, rather that they are able to deal with toxic, especially emotionally toxic situations. 8. Scorpions as mothers. Scorpions are unique among the arachnids in that they give birth to live offspring. They will then carry their babies around on their backs until their exoskeletons harden and they are large enough to fend for themselves. But if the mother is really hungry and has no other choice, they will eat their babies. For the scorpion, it's a question of whose survival is more important. If the mother dies of hunger, then her offspring will die as well. But if she eats her babies in order to survive, she can live to have more another time. The moon sign in a chart is an indicator of how we have been mothered and how we mother others. The moon in Scorpio grants exceptional courage and the ability to make life or death decisions. 9. Scorpions can metabolize iron. Scorpions can take up and process iron and nickel, incorporating them into and strengthening their pincers, their stingers, and other parts of their exoskeleton, which are crucial for prey capture and defense. In alchemy, iron is associated with the planet Mars, the traditional ruler of the sign of Scorpio, now co-ruled by Pluto. Iron is a symbol of hardness and strength, used in phrases such as an iron will, as hard as iron, and to rule with a rod of iron. While we don't know how and why scorpions are able to do this, and while the exact mechanisms and reasons are still being investigated, it's known that as well as utilizing iron for essential biological processes like cellular respiration and oxygen transport, they can incorporate these metals into their exoskeletons, strengthening the pincers and stinger. 10. Scorpio friends. Given their vulnerability, Scorpios are slow to trust. But once they trust you and they recognize your loyalty to them, there is nothing they won't do for you. They have the courage needed to handle crises, the ability to deal with emotionally toxic environments. Everyone needs a Scorpio friend. They will repay your loyalty 100-fold. Just leave them alone when they want to be left alone, and watch out for the sting.
And for more astrological and spiritual musings, check out moonletter.co.uk.